Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. After my video on buying versus renting a house, I thought that maybe it would be good if I can share some tips and tricks when buying a house in Singapore. Despite Singapore being the most expensive city to live in, 5 years in a row, the Singapore government has actually taken steps to make sure that common people like you and I can actually afford a house. But even so, if you are not careful, the cost of buying a house can actually add up to quite a lot. In this video, I will give you a quick home tour of my house, then the total cost of buying my house and the renovation cost. And finally, I will share with you tips and tricks on how to save money when buying a house. If you are only interested in the money saving part, I will leave the timing in the description down below so that you can jump straight to it. Otherwise, tap the like button, subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already, and watch on. So this is a 4-room resale HDB. As you can see, this is my living room. All of the woodwork you see here, like the built-in cupboard, TV console, were actually done up by the previous owner. I need to show you this. The sofa seat can extract, doubling as a bed when someone wants to sleep here. There's also something I want to show off. This thing here is called a Raspberry Pi. I use it to play old games like Super Mario, Ice Climber, Bubble Bobble, and so on. There are thousands of games in there, and you can play lots of party games with your friends when they come by. Great for cheap people like me who can't afford a Nintendo Switch or a PlayStation. Let's move on to the kitchen. I added a new countertop here because my wife likes baking. We changed the countertop surface because the previous one had become discolored. This is the kitchen toilet. Nothing much changed here. Here is my guest bedroom. All of the woodwork are done by the previous owner. Raised platform, mini drawer, and built-in cupboard all came with the house. Let me show you my storeroom. As you can see, it is quite small. This is my study room, where I film all my videos. It is quite empty except for my computer stuff and the boxes of stuff. So this house cost 430k to buy, and since I'm taking out a bank loan, I have to pay 20% for the down payment. In this case, it will be $86,000. For the upfront cost, buyer's stamp duty $7,500. As me and my wife are both PRs, we have to pay additional buyer's stamp duty $21,500, and the lawyer fee $2,300, and the home protection scheme $560, and finally the agent commission fee 1% of the house price, in this case $4,300, and it all adds up to $122,162. Nice! But luckily, we could use CPF to offset most of the costs. If you do not know already, CPF is like the US version of the 401k, where employees are required to contribute 20% of their salary to it, and employers contribute 17% to it. So anyway, we had $83,000 in our CPF after being PR for about 4 to 5 years, which we used to pay off the upfront cost. And the balance, $39,162, which we paid off in cash. And to be frank, it was the first time seeing so many thousands leaving my hands. It feels like my wallet is playing the coffin dance song already. You would think that it is finally over when you pay off the upfront cost. But no, it is just the start. You still have to do renovation, buy electronics, and buy furniture for your house. Luckily for us, the renovation was relatively minor because the previous owner left the house in a near perfect condition. We only changed the kitchen entrance, added a new kitchen top, replaced the one-year flooring, done some wirings here and there, some paint jobs, and some other miscellaneous stuff, which added up to about $12,000. I will leave out the furniture and electronics because it is already out of the topic of this video. But if you guys are interested, let me know down in the comments below, and maybe I'll make a new video for it. With the introduction finally done, I will share with you tips and tricks to saving money when buying a house. Number 1. Apply for BTO. As me and my wife are not Singaporeans, we only have the option of buying a resale HDB. But if you are a Singaporean and is not in a hurry to get a new house, definitely apply for a BTO. A BTO is definitely cheaper than buying a resale HDB. And I'm talking like 15% to 20% cheaper. If you use my house as an example, you could save anywhere between 60k to 80k. Number 2. Grants. Singaporeans can take advantage of all the grants available. In this article by Sidley, They have summarized what are the grants you can apply for. Like if you apply for BTO, you can get the enhanced CPF housing grant of 5k to 18k, or for resale flats, you can get the enhanced CPF housing grant, family grant, or the proximity house grant if you live near your parents' house. Lots of money to be saved there, and I'm talking like tens of thousands of dollars. I will link the city article in the description down below for you to check it out. Number 3. Find the house yourself. For resale HDB buyers, if you are not rushing for time, find the house yourself instead of engaging a property agent. With websites such as Property Guru and 99co, you can easily contact the sellers and arrange the viewing yourself. Furthermore, with the new HDB portal, the buying process will be simplified by quite a lot. An agent's commission fee is 1% of the house price. So in my case, I had to pay $4,300 to the agent. However, I consider that money well spent because having an agent definitely helped me out a lot. Every week, he will find the houses for us and arrange all the house viewings. Over 30 plus house viewings, and just 4 weeks later, we have already found our house. On top of that, he actually managed to negotiate down the price of the house by over $20,000. The dumb old me would not have been able to do that. But if you don't mind the hassle of finding the houses, arranging house viewings, and has the experience of negotiating vegetable prices with the auntie sellers at the market, and have the time to slowly find your dream house, you can totally do without an agent and save that few $1,000s. Number 4. Renovation. Pro tip: don't spend too much on renovation. Or if you are buying a resale HDB, try to find a house that is fully renovated and suit your taste, and you could potentially save a few $10,000s. For example, in this article by SingSaver, it showed that for a 4-room HDB like mine, I would have to spend an average of $58,000. But by choosing a house that is fully renovated, I only had to spend $12,000. Big savings there. Another tip is when you are looking for a renovation person, always go to a contractor rather than an interior designer. The difference between the two is an interior designer will provide design ideas for you and do the renovation for you too. While normally a contractor only do renovation work, and because of that, contractors tends to be cheaper than an interior designer. A quick story, I was actually looking for interior designer for my house, and after a quick discussion with 5 to 7 interior designers, all of them gave me their quotes and their designs. All of their quotes exceeded my budget, and I'm talking like 20% to 100% more expensive. So I started asking my friends for recommendation. One of my friends actually told me to get a contractor instead. So I went to one. And during the meeting, the contractor asked me, what are my design ideas for the renovation? And guess what? I already have all the design ideas from all my previous discussion with the interior designers. And I swear to you, I did not do it on purpose. So I just told him my ideas and he gave me a quote that is within my budget. Anyway, the moral of the story is, if you do not need any fancy renovations done, go straight to a contractor. Most of the time, they are already experienced enough to propose you with their own design ideas, and they will give you a much cheaper rate than an interior designer. Number 5. Furnitures. After renovations, the next big cost is furnitures. You will need to get a bed for sleeping, tables, chairs, and so on. There are 2 ways to do this. If you know Chinese, get your furnitures from Taobao. The furnitures there are so much cheaper than buying from Singapore. In this article from Canvas, the owner bought her furnitures from Taobao, and as a result, her house looks super good at just a fraction of the cost. Here's a pro tip for buying from Taobao. Always sort your orders from highest to lowest. That way, you will always get the most popular stores. It might not always be the case, but by doing so, you'll get better items, better customer service, and more stocks available. However, when buying from Taobao, you do not get to try out your furnitures like your sofas and your beds. You don't know how firm is it, right? This brings me to tip number 2. Get your furnitures from Malaysia. Take a 1-day trip to Johor and buy all your furnitures from there. Most of the furniture shops are actually bunched up all together, so you can just walk around to shop. Check out this great article by Wedding Mouse, which shows you all the popular furniture shops in Johor. I bought my furnitures at Taman Johor Jaya, right here. So as you can see, there's more than 5 shops here for you to choose already. But if you are still not satisfied, you can go to more shops, link in description below. A pro tip, prepare your Malaysian ringgit when you head over because they will want you to pay on the spot. And if you bought about as much as me, about $20,000 Malaysian ringgit is more than enough. And if you are scared that you will get robbed in Johor, use a U-Trip card or a Revolut card instead. It's basically like a prepaid credit card where you use an app to top up HDB, and at there you can pay in Malaysian ringgit. The great thing about these cards is that they do not charge any exchange fee, and their rates are comparable, if not even better than the money changer rate here in Singapore. Number 6. Electronics. The next big purchase will be your electronics, like your TV, aircon, fridge, oven, and so on. It's better to get your electronics here in Singapore because just in case your item is spoiled, you still have local warranty. There are 2 ways to save on electronics. Number 1. Use a credit card that has unlimited cashback. Some credit cards limit your cashback, like the DBS Refresh card, which limits your cashback to $60 a month. The card which I find that is good for large purchases like electronics is the HSBC Advance card. There's no minimum spending and it gives 3.5% cashback. So if you spend like $10,000 on electronics, you'll get back $350 in cashback. The second way to save on electronics, you know how Gain City, Harvey Norman, and Courts all have a lowest price guarantee? You don't? Now you do. Basically, they promise that they will give the lowest price among all of the electronic retailers, and you can take advantage of that. The easiest way is to go to Millennium Walk at Suntec, where they have Gain City and Harvey Norman. So you go to one of the shops first, like Gain City, then you ask for a quotation for all your stuff, like your TV, fridge, oven, and so on. Then you ask them, got discount? Most of the time, they will give you discount because 1. The display price is much higher than the original price. That's how they can give large discounts during IT shows. And number 2, because you're buying a lot of stuff, they will want your business, so they are more willing to reduce the price for you. The next step, after you get all your quotation, walk over to the next shop, like Harvey Norman. Then ask for the quotation all over again, like for your TV, oven, fridge. Then ask, got discount? Then you compare the 2 prices. Anything that is more expensive than the initial quotation, you just let them know, like, hey, Gain City is much more cheaper. How? One of the 2 things will happen. 1. They will reduce the price even more. Or 2. They won't reduce anymore because it is already at the best price. So now, you will get the cheapest price from both of the stores. And just go to the store which offers you the best price. Like if TV is cheaper at Gain City, buy the TV at Gain City. And if the fridge is cheaper at Harvey Norman, get the fridge at Harvey Norman. With this method, I actually managed to save over $1,000. So if you are thick-skinned and want to save some money, definitely do try it out. And that's all for my video today. Comment down below. Let me know what other tips and tricks you have when buying a house. Like, share and subscribe as I'll be posting new videos every Monday. See ya!